You know, people started sending information in, and another database was created to be able to send the proper help for medical supplies and food and clothing and water, even homes and cars for those that needed it. We even got phone calls and emails from people who wanted to know if we could tell them if their house was still standing. Several days later, do you know if we can even go home yet? With each call, the tears, I'm going to tell you, would roll. We would take details and continued daily to seek to try to find a local governmental or federal agency who could help us get this data to the right people. Searching for a department in FEMA and Homeland Security was very hard at that time. They were so busy trying to orchestrate the rescue missions and just getting food and water to the people who were stranded. But we would take the calls and we moved forward. Local neighbors from the community and local churches came in to type data and answer the 5 phone lines around the clock. Our home turned into a makeshift dispatch center. Computers in the kitchen, living room, family members bringing in food for the workers. And then the most shocking of all happened. We began getting calls to request to purchase ads on the website and even buy Katrina.com. The bids started at $5,000. Agents were calling to purchase the name. Still the most highly rated website with over 2 million hits a day still coming in. Everybody wanted to capitalize on this national disaster. Then we received the call of all calls, an offer for $500,000, $500,000 for a domain name. We were really in shock. How can you sell your name, and how can you sell something that is helping other people right now? Why would we sell it anyway so that others could profit? The answer was no. The media loved this story, and even some still write articles about it today. These people needed help, and we had to help protect them from these vultures who were just trying to make a dollar. When we found out that the bid for $500,000 came actually from a large charitable organization who took donations, or wanted to take donations, from people who were giving out of the goodness of their heart to help someone in need, take that money and then turn around and buy a domain name so that their big executives can continue to make more money. We knew that the fight was really on. Every time we talked to a governmental agency about what we were working on and what we could do with this data, they were informing us that they were trying to get their reconnection plan in order, and for us just to keep on pressing on. Do exactly what you're doing. You're doing a great job. This is exactly what we need. Just keep on working. So we did. 16 days and nights with no sleep. We worked around the clock. 60,000 plus emails and over 7,240 some families that we worked with, missing persons, missing family members. You see, the family would call us, we would gather the information, or they'd fill it out online and send it in. We'd go through each request, and we'd send it into a dispatch office and a rescue team, and they would be sent to search for them. On day 10, we received a call that, with as many calls as we got, I remember so many of them, and the cries of the people who were missing their family members. But this one particular call is etched in my memory forever, and in the lives of all the people that were there the day that it happened. A girl called from California, crying, missing her parents. They were in Louisiana, New Orleans, when the hurricane hit. She hadn't talked to them for 5 days, had no idea if they were still alive or not. When I told her I had nothing to do with the hurricane relief effort, But what we were doing was just trying to gather the information and send it to the dispatchers to see if they could rescue the people. I had no guarantees for her. I couldn't promise her we could find her family, but we would do everything in our power. And I said to her, "You realize it's been 10 days, but anything is possible." We told her we were thinking about her and praying for her, and we would do the best we could. So we called it in, and they sent the rescue teams out to look for her family. Her father had tried to evacuate when his building was full of water. And the group of people that worked with him moved on, hoping to send help back for him. He fell, hurt his leg, and couldn't make it through the waist-high water. So he managed to get back to the office building and crawl up 8 flights of stairs and stay there and wait for help. And help never came. His mother never did try to evacuate because she was taking care of her elderly brother, who was disabled. But they managed to make it to the attic. When the rescue teams found her dad, he was in his office on the 8th floor, still alive, hungry, thirsty, but still alive. They broke a window and rescued him with a helicopter and a basket. And then they found her mother and uncle in the attic, still alive. When they cut through the roof and took them out, it was almost like at that moment we could feel a brush of peace here, so many millions, thousands of miles away. But you know what? When that girl called us back later that afternoon and told us, screaming, crying, that they had found her family, there were no words to describe how we felt. About 3 months after that happened, I received a phone call from a man who said, "You don't know me, but I know you. And I know that if it wasn't for your website and all the work that your family did, I would not be alive today." And I knew instantly who it was. He told me about some surgeries that he had had and the recovery that he had had, and they were all with his daughter in California. But the most amazing thing is they were still alive after all those days, and that we were able to help get them rescued. At that point, we were made aware just once more that this was all in God's perfect plan. Who would have ever thought that a plain old girl just so happened to be named Katrina, and a wonderful husband who gave everything he had, in a plain old little town many, many, many miles away from this disaster, could touch the lives of so many millions of people all around the world. We spent every dime we had on telephone bills and internet fees, money we had saved up to build a new house for our little boy. So we stayed in our rental house and just kept on working.